Sometimes, a woman doesn't need to say a word. Her presence says it all. If you're truly paying attention, you'll notice the subtle ways she leans in, stays quiet, or simply looks at you differently. In this video, we'll explore the quiet, nonverbal signs a woman gives when she feels emotionally safe and when she might be open to a meaningful kiss. This isn't about games or guessing. It's about emotional awareness, mutual respect, and reading the moment with clarity. If you're Simeon, who values connection over conquest and subtlety over showmanship, you're in the right place. Subscribe now for daily insights on stoic masculinity, emotional intelligence, and the psychology of connection, especially for men who lead with calm strength. Let's begin. Number 1. She turns her whole body toward you, and that means more than you think. In human interaction, some of the most powerful signals, Aaron's body language reveals far more than words ever could, especially when someone is present, interested, and emotionally in tune with the person in front of them. And one of the most telling of these silent gestures is this. She turns her whole body toward. At first glance, it might seem like a small or even insignificant action, but if you learn to observe closely without overanalyzing or reading too much into things, you'll realize that this simple movement says a great deal about what's going on. Internally, it's not just about attention. It's about orientation, emotional, psychological, and physical lignite. In this article, we're going to unpack what it really means when a woman turns her whole body toward you. We'll explore the psychology behind it, what it often signals about trust, presence, and comfort, and why it should be appreciated, not taken for granted. Number 1. Body orientation reflects emotional alignment. Humans naturally direct their body toward the things they're most interested in, whether it's an engaging speaker, a trusted friend, or someone they feel drawn to. We orient ourselves physically toward what matters to us. That orientation is a reflection of attention, and attention is always a form of emotional investment. So, when a woman turns her full body toward you, her shoulders, knees, feet, and face, it likely means she's not just hearing you, she's listening with her presence. She's not distracted by the room or scanning for an exit. She's choosing to be right there. Her attention isn't fragmented. It's centered, focused, grounded. This isn't the same as someone looking at you briefly while multitasking. It's deeper. It's a quiet form of being fully with you, not just mentally, but with her whole self. Number 2. It's a signal of comfort, not just interest. Turning one's body completely towards someone takes a certain level of ease. People who feel unsafe, tense, or emotionally guarded don't do this easily. They often position themselves at angles, keep some part of their body turned away, or hold something like a bag, a phone, or even crossed arms between themselves and the other person. But when she turns fully toward you, unfolded, relaxed, open, it could mean she feels safe in your presence. She's not protecting herself or trying to escape the moment. She's willing to be seen, not just physically, but emotionally. It's a sign of emotional openness. She's not performing or guarding herself behind gestures. She's just present. And that's no small thing in a world where people often feel the need to be on defense. Number 3. She's offering you her full attention uninterrupted. In an age of constant distractions, giving someone your undivided attention is one of the most valuable and rare forms of respect. So when a woman turns toward you fully, she's giving you something far more meaningful than words. She's giving you her presence, no half-turned body while glancing at a screen, no sideways posture that suggests partial engagement, no subtle physical cues that say, I'm here, only halfway. She is in effect telling you, this moment matters. You matter. I'm right here. It's a quiet form of validation that doesn't require loud gestures, and if you're paying attention, you'll see the depth in it. Number 4. It's an invitation to meet her where she is, emotionally. When someone turns toward you completely, it's not just about what she's doing, it's also an invitation for you to do the same. It signals, I'm showing up. Are you? This is especially true in moments of vulnerability or connection. When she orients herself toward you, she may be expressing, I'm available for real connection. Right now, I'm paying attention. Are you? I'm not doing anything. You don't have to either. It's a soft, respectful call to presence, a gentle prompt that invites mutual vulnerability, not pressure. Number 5. Physical alignment often mirrors emotional investment. It's no coincidence that in conversations where people feel truly seen and heard, their body language syncs up. This phenomenon called mirroring is often unconscious, but it shows a deeper level of emotional resonance. If she's turned toward you and you've naturally found yourself doing the same, chances are you're both emotionally aligned in that moment. Neither of you had to force it. It simply happened. Why? Because alignment, true alignment, is felt before it's noticed. In contrast, when people are emotionally distant or uninterested, their body often betray it. They angle themselves away. They shift weight toward an exit. They half engage, holding on to something else physically or mentally. So, if she's chosen to phase you fully, without hesitation or distraction, you're already experiencing them. Most interactions never reach a moment of human sincerity. Number 6. She's saying yes to the moment without words. Body or often the body's way of saying yes before the mind has even verbalized it. A full body turn is rarely accidental. It's not a coincidence. It's an unconscious act that often reveals more than speech ever could. It might mean to this conversation, yes to this energy, yes to being present right now, and sometimes if you're in a moment of closeness or quiet tension, like right before a meaningful gesture or shared silence, it can be her way of saying, if this is important to you, I'm here with you in it. No drama, no pretense, just an honest, grounded yes. Number 7, she's saying, I'm not afraid to be seen or see you. There's something brave in being fully present with another person. We often hide behind distractions, devices, or half-hearted gestures, because facing someone completely can feel exposing. So, when a woman turns her whole body toward you, she's not hiding. She's allowing herself to be seen, not in a surface-level way, but in a more honest, emotional sense. She's also choosing to see you without barriers. This moment isn't about impressing or performing. It's about connecting. Number 8. She's grounded in the moment, not looking to escape. When someone isn't interested or feels uncomfortable, their body often gives them away. They might shift, frequently, angle themselves toward an exit, keep turning, or checking surroundings. But if she's turned fully toward you, not fidgeting, not darting her eyes elsewhere, that speaks volumes. She's not trying to get out of the moment, she's leaning into it. She's grounded.com. Still, and when someone can bestle with you, it often means they feel safe in your energy. Number 9. She's saying, you have my respect. True presence is a form of respect. It's how people say, I see you. I'm not half listening. I'm with you. So, if a woman turns her full body toward you and maintains that orientation while you speak, while you share something meaningful, or even while you're simply sitting in silence, that's respect in action. And in any kind of relationship, platonic or otherwise, that kind of respect is foundational. Number 10. It's a gift, not a guarantee. Let's be clear, just because a woman turns her body toward you doesn't mean she wants something from you. It doesn't mean she's romantically interested or offering a green light for anything physical. What it does mean is that she's chosen in that moment to be fully present with you. That's it. It's a quiet gift of time, focus, and emotional sincerity, and it's best received with gratitude, not expectation. Number 2, she gets quiet but doesn't pull away. Not every connection is built on loud laughter, fast words, or constant chatter. Sometimes the strongest signs of emotional depth reveal themselves in silence, not in withdrawal, but in quiet presence that chooses to stay. When a woman gets quiet around you, but doesn't pull away, when her silence feels full rather than empty, she may be telling you something deeper than words could ever express, and if you're paying attention, you'll realize this is not disinterest. In fact, it may be the exact opposite. Let's explore what it really means when she becomes quiet but stays close. This subtle shift in behavior often speaks volumes about comfort, emotional safety, and connection. Number 1, she feels safe enough to just be. One of the most overlooked aspects of emotional connection is comfort without offense. Many people feel the need to fill every gap in conversation with noise, out of anxiety, pressure, or fear of seeming disinterested. But when a woman grows quiet around Ewand, doesn't feel the need to fill that quiet with forced dialogue or distraction. It can signal a deeper level of ease. She's not pulling away, she's not checking out, she's just allowing herself to exist in the moment, trusting that the connection doesn't need constant tending to survive. It's in these moments of stillness that you learn she feels safe enough, not to over-explain, not to entertain, not to keep a smile plastered on her face just to make sure you're still engaged. She's letting the guard down without needing to announce it. Number 2. She's processing something with you nearby. Quietness can be a sign of thought, not detachment. If she's someone who processes her emotions or thoughts internally, her silence isn't necessarily a dyslectic. She may be inviting you into that space with her without expecting you to fix or solve anything. She may be reflecting on her day or thinking about something personal, or simply allowing herself to breathe. But notice, she chooses to do this near you. That decision, intentional or not, means something. She sees you not as a threat, not as a distraction, but as someone safe enough to be near while her mind or heart is working through something quietly. Number 3. She knows words aren't always necessary. Some women speak volumes with very few words. When she's quiet but still connected, still looking at you with warmth, still present in the moment, she may be telling you in her own way, "We don't need words right now. I just want to be here with you." There's a deep kind of intimacy in that. The kind where a bond isn't measured in how much is said, but in the mutual understanding that silence doesn't mean absence. She may lean into the moment instead, wishing to fill it. She may pause before she speaks, not because she does, but because she does and wants to be intentional. Quiet doesn't mean indifferent. In many cases, it means aware, tuned in, not in doubt. Number 4. She's not putting on a performance anymore. Early on, in getting to know someone, it's natural for both people to try to be interesting, try to be engaging, try to make the best impression. But eventually, something shifts. The masks fall away and quietness becomes less about discomfort and more about trust. If she once filled every silence with energy, but now can just be with you, even in her quiet moments, it's a sin. She's letting herself be real, not pretenses, no pressure, just authenticity. This kind of quiet is a gift. It means she's not trying to impress you anymore. She's trying to be herself around you. Number 5. She's listening more than she's speaking. Some people, especially women, listen before they speak. When she grows quiet around you, it might not be about pulling away, but about taking you in. She might be observing how you move through the world, how you talk about things, how you handle silence yourself. This is especially true if she's still making eye contact or if her body language remains open and calm. She's present, but she's gathering. Listening is an act of respect, and if she gets quiet to give you room to speak or to observe the moment deeply, that's something to value. Number 6. Her quietness is an invitation, not a wall. Silence can sometimes feel awkward when we interpret it as rejection. But the truth is silence can also be an invitation to slow down, to match her pace, to sit with her without trying, to change the energy, to respect the unspoken. When she grows quiet and stays near, when she doesn't flinch, doesn't leave, doesn't emotionally check out, she's inviting you into her emotional tempo. This is a moment to honor, not to rush through or question, but to respect as a deeper part of the connection. Number 7. She may be emotionally moved, but guarded. Quietness sometimes comes from emotional depth. If she's feeling more than she's used to, or if something about the moment touches her heart more deeply than she expected, she may instinctively go quiet, not out of distance, but out of emotional overwhelm. Some women take time to open up emotionally, and when they do, it's not always loud or obvious. It can look like silence, long gazes, or a soft pause in the middle of a conversation. Pay attention to these small cues. They may be the quiet expressions of something meaningful stirring beneath surface. And by not pulling away, she's letting you stay there with her, even if she doesn't yet know how to put it into words. Number 8. She respects the power of presence. Quiet moments aren't always about internal conflict or processing. Sometimes they're about presence. There are women who deeply understand the value of being in a moment without over-explaining it. When she gets quietened, stays without needing to justify her silence, she may be showing you something profound, that being with you doesn't require performance. That the moment as it is, now, this is a kind of emotional maturity, a quiet confidence, in knowing that real connection doesn't need constant noise to prove itself. She may not say a word, but she stays. That says more than conversation ever held. Number 9. She's waiting to see if you can hold silence with her. A lot can be revealed in how someone responds to silence. When she becomes quiet, she may be watching consciously or unconsciously how you handle that space. Do you get uncomfortable and fill it with meaningless chatter? Do you withdraw emotionally? Or do you stay steady and grounded, honoring the pause for what it is? Women who are attuned to emotion often notice how a man holds space, not just with his words, but with his energy. If she gets quiet and you stay calm, open, and present, that can actually deepen trust. It shows her that you're not threatened by silence and that you respect her rhythm. Number 10. She's letting the moment breathe. Not every meaningful moment has to be narrated in real time. Some of the most powerful experiences need space to breathe. When she gets quiet and doesn't pull away, she may simply be allowing the moment to land, letting it be what it is, without pressure, without commentary. This is especially common in emotionally significant situations. A meaning just happened, a vulnerable truth was shared, a quiet walk or still evening is unfolding. In these moments, her silence isn't about distance, it's about depth. She's letting it all sink in. And she's letting you be part of that stillness. What should you do when she gets quiet but stays close? Respect the moment, don't rush to fix it. Let it unfold. Stay present. Your calm energy is more reassuring than any perfect phrase. Match her pace. If she slows down, don't speed up. Settle into her rhythm. Check in gently if needed. A soft, "You okay?" or just taking it in can open space without pressure. Value her silence. Understand. Number 3. She looks at your lips, then back at your eyes. In a world full of noisy and endless conversation, sometimes it's the quietest signals that hold the most meaning. And one of the subtlest yet most emotionally revealing gestures a woman can make is this. She looks at your lips and then back at your eyes. It's not just about attraction or curiosity. It's deeper than that. Dismal, nearly imperceptible moment often carries weight. Not in a physical or romantic sense alone, but in a relational and emotional sense. It signals trust, openness, and a shared moment that feels both grounded and vulnerable. Let's explore why this glance happens, what it might mean, and how to understand it respectfully with clarity, not assumption. 1. She feels emotionally safe around you. Before a woman gives off any signal of deeper connection, she has to feel emotionally safe in your presence. That meant when her eyes briefly flick to your lips and back again is often not about physical longing. It's a boot feeling, secure enough to let her guard down, even just for a second. It's an unspoken acknowledgement. I trust being here with you. That glance is less about taking a step forward and more about being comfortable in the moment as it is. If she's emotionally guarded, she won't make that kind of eye movement, but if she's calm, settled, and feeling respected, she may express that quiet openness through her gaze. 2. She's deep in the moment with you. Sometimes when someone is truly present, when the world fades a little, and you're the only two who seem to exist in that space, she might unconsciously glance at your lips, not out of strategy, but back. She's absorbing you, your words, your presence, your energy. This isn't a performance, it's a moment of genuine engagement. She's not distracted or thinking about the next thing she has to do. She's not trying to appear a certain way. She's fully here, and her eyes moving between your lips and your eyes is just her body's way of expressing how fully she's tuned in to you. 3. She's trying to read you clearly. People don't always look at lips because they want access. Sometimes they do it to better understand someone. Think of it like this. When someone is truly listening, especially in a noisy or emotionally charged moment, they may focus intently on your face, your expressions, your words, your subtle cues. Looking at your lips and then back to your eyes may simply mean, I want to understand you better. She might be watching for emotional tone, sincerity, or alignment between what she says and how she says it. For many women who are intuitive or emotionally observant, this is a natural part of connecting. 4. She's comfortable with the silence. In a culture that constantly demands conversation and movement, silence can feel rare and revealing. If she looks at your lips and then your eyes during a quiet moment, it's often a sign that she's not in a rush to fill the silence. She's letting it be. A small gesture, eye to lips, then back again, may simply be a response to a moment that feels intimate in its stillness. There's no need for words, no need to perform, just presence. And in that space, the glance can carry a subtle message of I'm okay, right here, right now. 5. She's letting herself be seen. That brief shift in eye contact often isn't about studying you, it's about allowing herself to be seen. Vulnerability isn't always loud. Sometimes it comes in the form of letting someone witness your softer gaze, your quiet thoughts, your unguarded body language. When a woman looks at your lips and then returns to your eyes, it can be a moment of exposure, not of her body, but of her presence, of letting you see her without armor. She's allowing a moment of closeness, not necessarily romantic, just real. 6. She's curious about the emotional energy between you. Every connection has a rhythm. Some are casual and light. Others carry a deeper hum, something you both feel but don't quite name. When a woman is sensitive to that shift in energy, she might respond by subtle shifting her gaze, exploring what this energy between you feels like. The look toward your lips and then back to your eyes may be her way of checking in with that current between you, not to push anything forward, but to notice it, to ask silently, do you feel this too? It's not a challenge, it's not a trap, it's curiosity wrapped in calm awareness. 8. She's grounded, not performing. This kind of eye movement is very different from someone who's trying to be seductive or manipulative. When Shell looks at you this way, and it feels natural, slow, and unforced, it's usually a sign that she's present in her body and grounded in herself. She's not trying to impress you. She's not looking for attention. She's just expressing her internal state through micro-gestures. And those micro-gestures, if you're paying attention, can speak volumes. 9. She's feeling a sense of warm anticipation, not urgency. If there's any hint of anticipation in that glance, it's not frantic, it's not impatient, it's calm, still, unfolding. She's not expecting you to act. She's not trying to lead you on. She's simply allowing herself to feel the moment, to lean into the warmth of it without demanding more from it. That's a beautiful sign of emotional maturity. And whether or not anything more ever happens, it's a powerful thing to share that space with someone. Number 4. She moves closer but slowly, not abruptly. There's something deeply telling about the way someone chooses to move in your direction, especially when they do it slowly, thoughtfully, and without urgency. When a woman moves closer to you, but not in a rushed or exaggerated way, it speaks volumes about her comfort, her mindset, and the trust that's quietly forming. It's a moment not to overlook because her body language is communicating more than her words ever might. Let's explore the deeper nonverbal meaning behind this slow and steady closeness, and why it's one of the most genuine forms of emotional openness. 1. She's testing the emotional temperature. When a woman moves closer gradually, it's a quiet way of checking whether the space between you two is safe and welcome. She's not forcing closeness, she's gauging your reactions. She might lean a little closer during a conversation or inch nearer, while sitting beside you, not to invade your space, but to test if you'll reciprocate the comfort. This isn't about physical attraction, it's about emotional alignment. She wants to see if you respond with warmth, ease, and respect for her boundaries. 2. She's giving the moment room to breathe. Abrupt movement can often signal anxiety, nervousness, or uncertainty, but slow movement reflects presence. When she moves closer, in this unhurried way, it shows that she's not trying to rush anything. She's allowing the moment to unfold naturally, without pressure, without trying to get anything out of it. This behavior reflects emotional maturity. She values the connection enough to let it deepen at its own pace. 3. She feels safe around you. A slow approach often means she feels emotionally secure in your presence. She's not on guard. She doesn't feel the need to keep distance out of caution. Instead, she's relaxing into the environment you've created, whether that's your voice, your energy, or the overall atmosphere you bring with you. This isn't something to take lightly. Emotional safety is one of the foundational layers of meaningful connection, and it shows in these gentle incremental movements. 4. She wants to be close but with intention. Fast or exaggerated closeness can sometimes be performative, but slow movement suggests deliberateness. She isn't just acting on impulse, she's making a conscious choice to be near you. That could be because she values what you're saying, or maybe your presence simply makes her feel at ease. It's closeness with purpose, not pretense. 5. She's listening with her whole body. When someone leans in slowly as sewer talk, they're showing that they're not just hearing you, they're absorbing what you're saying. It's one thing to nod or smile, it's another to quietly move toward you, closing the physical distance as the emotional connection grows. It means she's present, not distracted, not just waiting to speak. She's allowing your words, and you totally land. 6. She's matching your energy, subtly, without even realizing it. We often mirror those we feel connected to. If you're calm, respectful, and grounded, she might slowly begin to reflect that energy back toward you through tone, posture, and yes, movement. A slow step forward could be her way of aligning with your emotional pace. It's not about copying you. It's about attuning to your rhythm. 7. She's building trust one step at a time. Trust doesn't arrive in bold declarations. It shows up quietly in micro movements like a slow lean forward or a step closer during conversation. These moments are her way of saying, I feel safe here. I feel okay with this. She's not charging ahead or pulling back. She's staying steady. This shows trust, not just in you, but in how she feels when she's around you. 8. She's letting vulnerability show without making it obvious. There's a quiet courage in allowing ourselves to move closer to someone. It's a subtle form of vulnerability. When she does it slowly, it means she's letting her guard down, but carefully, with self-respect. She's not trying to be overly forward. She's simply saying with hermity, I'm opening up bit by bit. And that kind of vulnerability is far more meaningful than any dramatic gesture. 9. She's creating shared space. Think of space not just as physical, but also emotional. When she moves closer slowly, she's expanding the emotional space between you, inviting you in without overwhelming you. It's a gentle gesture that says, this moment can belong to both of us. She's co-creating the connection, not pushing, not pulling, just quietly inviting. 10. She's letting you notice it on your own. Perhaps the most powerful part of all is this. She's not making a big deal about the fact that she's closer now than she was a few minutes ago. She's letting you notice it on your own. And when someone gives you the space to notice their comfort with you, it's a quiet kind of respect. She's saying, I trust you to see this for what it is, and that's powerful. Number 5. She mirrors your movements. Not all signs of interest are loud or dramatic. Some are so quiet they go unnoticed unless you're paying close attention. One of the most subtle and powerful of these is mirroring. When a woman unconsciously begins to reflect your movements, posture, or mannerisms, it's not about copying or imitation. It's about connection. When she mirrors you, she's not trying to impress or manipulate. Her body is simply responding to a sense of comfort, familiarity, and trust. This article explores why mirroring happens, what it means when she does it around you, and how to understand it not as a green light for action, but as a genuine signal of emotional alignment. Let's break it down. 1. Mirroring. ISIN, unconscious, response to emotional safety. When someone feels emotionalized around you, their body relaxes. They let their guard down. In that state, people often start to mirror each other's posture, tone, and gestures without even realizing it. This isn't something she plans. It's her subconscious saying, I feel it is here. I'm in sync with you. It's a signal of harmony, a kind of invisible rhythm that says, we're on the same page. You might cross your arms and she does the same. You lean forward and a moment later she leans, too. It's not mimicry, it's alignment. When she mirrors you, she's not trying to impress or manipulate. Her body is simply responding to a sense of comfort, familiarity, and trust. Number 2. Mirroring reflects attunement, not just interest. People often confuse mirroring with mirror, but it goes deeper. Mirroring is a sign of attunement, often into someone else's emotional frequency. It means she's not just hearing your words, she's feeling your presence. If you're calm, she becomes calm. If you speak softly, she softens, too. If you slow down your pace, her energy subtly follows. This is not manipulation, it's empathy in motion. So, when she mirrors you, it might mean she's feeling what you're feeling. That's rare, that's powerful, and it's hold be respected. Number 3. It shows she's present in the moment. In a world full of distractions, presence is a gift. When someone is mirroring you, it's usually a sign they're fully engaged in the moment. Their mind isn't wandering. They're not thinking about their phone, their to-do list, or how to exit the conversation. They're here with you in rhythm, with your body language, your pace, and your tone. That presence is a form of quiet connection. And when it's mutual, you'll feel it too, like the flows more naturally, and even silences feel comfortable rather than awkward. Number 4. Mirroring is a sign of emotional rapport. Studies in psychology and communication have long shown that people who feel emotionally connected tend to mirror each other more often. It's one of the foundations of what we call rapport, that invisible but unmistakable feeling that you click with someone. When she mirrors your movements, it's her body saying, I feel connected to you right now. This rapport can happen between friends, colleagues, or even strangers. But when it happens in a deeper emotional setting, when there's mutual respect and safety, it often signals the early formation of trust. Number 5, it suggests she's listening beyond your words. There's a kind of listening that goes beyond just hearing someone speak. It's when a person listens with their full presence, with their body, mind, and emotions. Mirroring often happens in that kind of deep listening. If she mirrors your movements, it may mean she's not only listening to your words, but absorbing your emotional state. She might slow down her pace when she senses you're being thoughtful, or lean in when she feels you're opening up. This form of listening is rare and meaningful. It means she's trying to meet you, not just in conversation, but in energy. Number 6, mirroring doesn't mean you should act on assumption. While mirroring can be a sign of connection, it should never be interpreted as an invitation or expectation. Respect isolates the foundation. Just because she mirrors you doesn't mean she wants something more. It might simply mean she feels safe and at ease. In fact, the best response to mirroring is not to dismiss it, to recognize it quietly, honor the comfort it shows, and allow the connection to unfold naturally. If something deeper is meant to happen between you, it will happen with clarity, consent, and mutual understanding, not just because of body language. Number 7, mirroring often grows over time. One of the beautiful things about flirting is that it tends to develop gradually. In early interactions, she might keep some emotional distance, not because she's closed off, but because she's observing, learning, and discerning. But as trust builds, you may start to notice subtle shifts. Maybe she slows and rhythm with you. Maybe she adjusts her position after you shift yours. Maybe she mirrors your expressions more than your gestures. These aren't coincidences. They're the quiet language of growing trust, of two people finding a natural rhythm over time. And, number 8, mirror on graphics, mutual respect and emotional reciprocity. At its core, mirroring is a form of emotional reciprocity. When she reflects your body language, she's meeting you halfway. It's not about power or performance, it's about balance. She's not trying to impress you. She's not trying to gain anything. She's just showing up fully, responding with her whole self, and creating a shared emotional space. That kind of mutual respect, wordless and subtle, is far more meaningful than any grand gesture. Number 6. Her eyes soften and she holds eye contact a bit longer. There are moments when you don't need words. A glance held just a little longer than usual can communicate more than 1,000 well-chosen sentences. And when a woman's eyes soften and she doesn't immediately look away, it's not just about politeness or coincidence. It's something more human, more vulnerable, more real. When a woman holds eye contact a bit longer than normal with a warmth behind her gaze, it's often an unspoken message. This behavior, though subtle, carries powerful meaning, and it's worth exploring the reasons behind it, especially in a way that respects emotional depth without crossing into anything suggestive. Let's unpack what it often means when her eyes soften, and she maintains that gentle, lingering eye contact. 1. She feels safe in your presence. The first and most important reason for extended eye contact with softened eyes is the safety. When someone feels emotionally or psychologically safe, their body language becomes less guarded, the eyes especially. Riftless, soft eye contact, where there's no tension or sharpness, suggests she doesn't feel the need to be defensive. You haven't given her a reason to be wary. On the contrary, your presence may have created a space where she can be herself. This form of trust isn't given lightly, especially by those who've been through difficult experiences. This isn't about romantic feelings necessarily, it's about human connection, about feeling emotionally grounded around someone who doesn't judge, push, or pressure. 2. She's paying attention to you, not just your words. When a woman's eyes soften and stay with you, she's not just hearing what you're saying, she's listening fully. This kind of presence is rare in a world full of distractions. Maintaining soft, prolonged eye contact signals focus and care. She's reading your emotions, your energy, and history behind your tone. She's trying to understand not just what you say, but you say it, and what you might not be saying at all. This is a form of emotional attunement. It suggests she's truly present in the conversation. She's not rushing. She's not rehearsing her reply. She's actually with you in that moment. 3. She's feeling emotionally moved even if she doesn't say it. Some Adamas hold eye contact a little longer because they're emotionally stirred. Not in a romantic or a dramatic way, but just in a deeply human way. It might be you said, the way you shared it, or even just who you are. Her softened eyes could mean she feels sympathy, respect, admiration, or a quiet sense of connection. Maybe she'll reminded her of something she values. Maybe she made her reflect. Maybe your presence echoes her. She may not express any of this verbally, but the eyes don't lie. That gentle gaze, it speaks volumes. 4. She's letting her guard down. There's a difference between someone looking at you and someone letting you see them. Softened, steady eye contact can be a signal that she's allowing herself to be vulnerable, not in a grand emotional outburst, but in a small, significant. Maybe she's trusting you with her thoughts. Maybe she's no longer filtering her reactions as carefully. You'll notice this when her expressions boom, more natural, when her laughter is real, or when her silence doesn't feel awkward. The eyes in those moments reflect openness, not performance, not defense, just sincerity. This doesn't mean she's trying to tell you everything, but it might mean she's done hiding. 5. She's curious about you deeply. So, holding eye contact longer than usual can also reflect curiosity, not surface-level kind, but something deeper. Soft eyes, sustained contact, and quiet attentiveness often mean she's wondering more than what your job is or where you grew up. She might be asking inwardly, what makes him the way he is? What's behind that calmness? Why does he speak with that tone? It's curiosity born of emotional intrigue. Again, this doesn't mean romantic, but it does reflect interest on a personal level. You've sparked a quiet sense of wonder in her, and her eyes are staying with you as she tries to learn more. 6. She's mirroring the emotional tone you're creating. People tend to mirror the energy they're around, especially when they feel comfortable and seen. If you tend to communicate calmly, sincerely, and thoughtfully, she may unconsciously reflect that in her own demeanor. Her eyes might soften, simply because your presence invites stillness and thoughtfulness. In this way, her softened gaze is not just her own, it's a mirror of the tone you've set. This speaks volumes about how you carry yourself and how she's responding to it. 7. She's expressing unspoken gratitude or respect. Sometimes the extended soft gaze is a quiet way of saying thank you, or even, I respect you. Maybe you offered her emotional support when she needed it. Maybe you listened without interrupting, or maybe you simply showed up as someone authentic without bravado, without masks. She might not say anything in that moment, but her eyes will hold yours a little longer. That's often all the acknowledgement you'll need. 8. She's not rushing the moment. In today's fast-paced world, where conversations are often and time is always slipping away, a moment of stillness, where someone just looks at you gently and stays with you, is rare. It suggests she's not in a hurry to move on. She's not rushing to get back to her phone or her task list. She's allowing the moment to linger. This kind of unrushed presence is powerful. It means you've created something rare space without pressure. 9. She feels a shared understanding. Sometimes, we lock eyes with someone, and both just get it. Nothing needs to be explained. That soft eye contact may be a reflection of that silent understanding. Maybe something you said resonated. Maybe your silence eaters. Maybe she simply feels that you to see the world in a similar way, and in those quiet moments her eyes won't dart away. They'll soften, and they'll stay. 7. She tilts her head slightly, and it means more than you think. Sometimes it's the smallest movements that reveal the deepest feelings in a world full of loud gestures and exaggerated expressions. 1 quiet shift, a slight tilt of the head, can carry more emotional weight than 1,000 words. It's easy to overlook, but when a woman tilts her head slightly in your presence, it often signals something meaningful. This movement is not flirtation in the stereotypical sense, nor is it some trick or strategy. Instead, it's a gentle indicator of openness, trust, curiosity, and often emotional ignition. It's one of those subtle behaviors that speaks volumes without needing to shout. And if you're someone who values presence and awareness, you'll start to notice how powerful these tiny, respectful signals truly are. Let's explore the deeper reasons behind a simple head tilt, and why, when she does it slightly around you, it might matter more than you realize. 1. It's a sign of emotional openness. When someone tilts their head, they expose one of the most vulnerable areas of the body, the neck. From an evolutionary standpoint, this act is connected to trust. While it's not something most people do consciously, a slight tilt often means a person feels safe, emotionally relaxed, and at ease with whoever is in front of them. If she tilts her head while listening to you, she's likely doing more than just hearing your words. She's allowing herself to be fully present. She's not guarded. She's not moment.2. It signals curiosity and genuine interest. A head tilt often indicates that someone is fully engaged in what's being said. It's a subtle but clear sign that she's not just listening, she's processing, absorbing, and genuinely nursed in your thoughts or presence. This isn't passive attention, it's focused and thoughtful. She's showing you that she cares about the conversation, not just with her words, but with her posture and orientation. In other words, when she tilts her head slightly, it may be her way of saying, I want to understand you more. 3. It reflects comfort and nonverbal alignment. Comfort isn't just about being in a safe space, it's about feeling emotionally aligned with the person you're with. A slight head tilt can emerge in moments of connection where there's no pressure, no pretenses, and no need to perform. If you notice that she tilts her head when the two of you are sharing a comment, whether it's laughter, silence, or eye contact, it's a subtle reflection of her emotional state. She feels synchronized with your presence. People often tilt their heads around those they trust. It's not about dominance or passivity. It's about ease and unspoken connection. 4. It softens her presence. There's something universally gentle about a person who tilts their head while interacting. It softens the overall energy they're giving off. It shows they are not guarded, not defensive, and certainly not indifferent. A woman who does this around you might be inviting more warmth into the interaction. Not in a romantic or suggestive way, but in a way that says, I'm approachable, I'm comfortable, this moment feels right. When someone softens their body language, it often mirrors their internal emotional state. She may be quietly telling you that she feels calm around you. 5. It's a nonverbal pause for connection. The slight tilt of a head can also act as a natural pause. Instead of filling every silence with noise or rushing to the next point, this movement can signal that she's letting moments settle. She may tilt her head slightly after you've said something meaningful, not because she's unsure, but because she's feeling the depth of it. In that brief moment, she's not analyzing, she's connecting. These quiet pauses, especially when paired with soft eye contact, can create a subtle emotional bridge between two people. 6. It demonstrates attunement to you. Attunement isn't more than just listening, it's about being emotionally in sync. A woman who tilts her head slightly may be signaling that she's not just present, she's tuned in to you specifically. She's responding to your tone, your pace, your energy, not by mimicking, but by being in rhythm with you. Her posture becomes a reflection of that alignment. This kind of attunement doesn't demand attention. It offers it quietly, and in a world where most people are preoccupied, a moment of genuine presence like this stands out. 7. It may reflect thoughtfulness or deep processing. Sometimes a head tilt doesn't signal outward connection. It reflects internal reflection. She might tilt her head as she considers what you said, processes a feeling, or searches for a thoughtful response. This gesture, in this case, doesn't mean she's unsure. It means she's thinking deeply. And if she chooses to show that in front of you, it often means she feels safe to do so. That kind of vulnerability, of letting someone witness your thought process, not just your polished words, is an underrated form of trust. 8. It can mark a transition to stillness. A slight head tilt often comes just before moments of stillness. It's like her body is giving you a quiet signal. Let's slow down here. She may do it before a shared silence, before a gentle laugh, or even before parting ways after a meaningful conversation. It's a nonverbal cue that signals emotional closeness without needing to escalate it into anything physical or overt. Stingness isn't in emotionally intelligent connections, it's often the most full. Number 8. She stops talking but stays close. There are moments in human connection when words fall away, but the presence remains when a woman stops talking yet chooses to stay, physically or emotionally close. It's not a lack of interest. In fact, it's often quite the opposite. This quiet presence carries layers of meaning. It's a subtle signal that she's moved beyond surface-level conversation, if you're perceptive enough to notice it. This silence speaks volumes. Let's explore what it may mean when she stops talking but doesn't walk away. Number 1. She's comfortable in that quiet. One of the most telling signs of emotional safety is the ability to share silence without discomfort. If she doesn't feel the need to fill every moment with words, it often means she feels safe in your company. In these moments, Her presence becomes its own form of communication. She may sit near you, walk beside you, or just be in the same space, saying nothing, yet expressing everything. The quiet becomes shared rather than empty. Number 2. She's processing internally. Sometimes she's quiet because she's thinking. Maybe your conversation touched something meaningful. Or maybe she's simply reflecting on her own thoughts. When she remains nearby instead of pulling away, it suggests she feels no need to hide that internal process from you. You don't have to ask what she's thinking right away. Just give her space. Let her return to speaking when she's ready. The fact that she hasn't removed herself shows trust. Number 3. She feels emotionally connected without needing constant conversion. When people reach a certain level of emotional rapport, they don't always need to speak. Companionship matures into quiet closeness. If she stays near, even without chatting, it often means she values your presence more than your performance. She doesn't need you to entertain her or constantly initiate conversation. Your presence is enough. This is a rare form of intimacy, one that is less about what you say and more about how you make her feel without saying anything at all. Number 4. She's paying attention in her own way. Silence doesn't always mean disinterest. In fact, when a woman becomes quieter, she may actually be noticing more. Your expressions, your tone, your energy. Her silence may be observational. She's watching how you carry yourself, how you respond. 2 things. How you handle her silence. It's not a test. It's more of a gentle curiosity. One that only shows up when she's invested in the dynamic between you. Number 5. She feels safe enough to just be. Many people feel pressure to. Evolutionary standpoint, this act is connected to trust. While it's not something most people do consciously, a slight tilt often means a person feels safe, emotionally relaxed, and at ease with whoever is in front of them. If she tilts her head while listening to you, she's likely doing more than just hearing your words. She's allowing herself to be fully present. She's not guarded. She's not moment. 2. It signals curiosity and genuine interest. A head tilt often indicates that someone is fully engaged in what's being said. It's a subtle but clear sign that she's not just listening, she's processing, absorbing, and genuinely nursed in your thoughts or presence. This isn't passive attention, it's focused and thoughtful. She's showing you that she cares about the conversation, not just with her words, but with her posture and orientation. In other words, when she tilts her head slightly, it may be her way of saying, I want to understand you more. 3. It reflects comfort and nonverbal alignment. Comfort isn't just about being in a safe space. It's about feeling emotionally aligned with the person you're with. A slight head tilt can emerge in moments of connection where there's no pressure, no pretenses, and no need to perform. If you notice that she tilts her head when the two of you are sharing a comment, whether it's laughter, silence, or eye contact, it's a subtle reflection of her emotional state. She feels synchronized with your presence. People often tilt their heads around those they trust. It's not about dominance or passivity. It's about ease and unspoken connection. 4. It softens her presence. There's something universally gentle about a person who tilts their head while interacting. It softens the overall energy they're giving off. It shows they are not guarded, not defensive, and certainly not indifferent. A woman who does this around you might be inviting more warmth into the interaction. Not in a romantic or suggestive way, but in a way that says, I'm approachable, I'm comfortable, this moment feels right. When someone softens their body language, it often mirrors their internal emotional state. She may be quietly telling you that she feels calm around you. 5. It's a nonverbal pause for connection. The slight tilt of a head can also act as a natural pause. Instead of filling every silence with noise or rushing to the next point, this movement can signal that she's letting moments settle. She may tilt her head slightly after you've said something meaningful, not because she's unsure, but because she's feeling the depth of it. In that brief moment, she's not analyzing, she's connecting. These quiet pauses, especially when paired with soft eye contact, can create a subtle emotional bridge between two people. 6. It demonstrates attunement to you. Attunement isn't more than just listening. It's about being emotionally in sync. A woman who tilts her head slightly may be signaling that she's not just present, she's tuned in to you specifically. She's responding to your tone, your pace, your energy, not by mimicking, but by being in rhythm with you. Her posture becomes a reflection of that alignment. This kind of attunement doesn't demand attention. It offers it quietly, and in a world where most people are preoccupied, a moment of genuine presence like this stands out. 7. It may reflect thoughtfulness or deep processing. Sometimes a head tilt doesn't signal outward connection. It reflects internal reflection. She might tilt her head as she considers what you said, processes a feeling, or searches for a thoughtful response. This gesture, in this case, doesn't mean she's unsure. It means she's thinking deeply. And if she chooses to show that in front of you, it often means she feels safe to do so. That kind of vulnerability, of letting someone witness your thought process, not just your polished words, is an underrated form of trust. 8. It can mark a transition to stillness. A slight head tilt often comes just before moments of stillness. It's like her body is giving you a quiet signal. Let's slow down here. She may do it before a shared silence, before a gentle laugh, or even before parting ways after a meaningful conversation. It's a nonverbal cue that signals emotional closeness without needing to escalate it into anything physical or overt. Stingness isn't in emotionally intelligent connections, it's often the most full. Number 8. She stops talking but stays close. There are moments in human connection when words fall away, but the presence remains when a woman stops talking yet chooses to stay, physically or emotionally close. It's not a lack of interest. In fact, it's often quite the opposite. This quiet presence carries layers of meaning. It's a subtle signal that she's moved beyond surface-level conversation. If you're perceptive enough to notice it, this silence speaks volumes. Let's explore what it may mean when she stops talking but doesn't walk away. Number 1. She's comfortable in that quiet. One of the most telling signs of emotional safety is the ability to share silence without discomfort. If she doesn't feel the need to fill every moment with words, it often means she feels safe in your company. In these moments, her presence becomes its own form of communication. She may sit near you, walk beside you, or just be in the same space, saying nothing, yet expressing everything. The quiet becomes shared rather than empty. Number 2. She's processing internally. Sometimes she's quiet because she's thinking. Maybe your conversation touched something meaningful. Or maybe she's simply reflecting on her own thoughts. When she remains nearby instead of pulling away, it suggests she feels no need to hide that internal process from you. You don't have to ask what she's thinking right away. Just give her space. Let her return to speaking when she's ready. The fact that she hasn't removed herself shows trust. Number 3. She feels emotionally connected without needing constant conversion. When people reach a certain level of emotional rapport, they don't always need to speak. Companionship matures into quiet closeness. If she stays near, even without chatting, it often means she values your presence more than your performance. She doesn't need you to entertain her or constantly initiate conversation. Your presence is enough. This is a rare form of intimacy, one that is less about what you say and more about how you make her feel without saying anything at all. Number 4. She's paying attention in her own way. Silence doesn't always mean disinterest. In fact, when a woman becomes quieter, she may actually be noticing more. Your expressions, your tone, your energy. Her silence may be observational. She's watching how you carry yourself, how you respond. 2 things. How you handle her silence. It's not a test. It's more of a gentle curiosity. One that only shows up when she's invested in the dynamic between you. Number 5. She feels safe enough to just be. Many people feel pressure to